Alright, what is going on? It is Nate, and we're back with another video. Today I'm talking about the terror barrier. So this is something that I don't really talk about it too much, but it's really important in the process of success. It's kind of where you know that you're combining your thoughts and your feelings and your actions. And so basically, if you want new results, right, you want to move into this new life, you want to change something, whether it's your income, whether it's, you know, where you live, it doesn't matter what it is. If you want to change, then things are going to have to change, right? And so a lot of people have this misconception that you work harder and you'll be able to get whatever you want, you'll be able to change. And the truth is more of the same will just bring more of the same, right? So if you want to change, then you're going to have to do new things. You're going to have to do things differently. You're going to have to change, and that's not comfortable. So what happens is as you make this decision, like, I'm changing, right? Whatever it may be, whether it's let's just say we want to make more money, right? You're like, you know what, I want to go to 20K a month, 50K a month, whatever it is. If you think that you're going to be doing the same actions that you were doing to make your current income, then you've lost your mind, right? You're going to have to take new actions, and it doesn't necessarily mean entirely new actions, but possibly the way you take the action, right? So if you're taking an action and you're like, this isn't going to work, this is a waste of time, this is going to suck, then you're exactly right. And then the guy who says, I'm making millions from this, he's also exactly right. So you have to understand that your belief, your perception, your perspective on everything is what formulates your reality. So if you're, like, let's just say you're already trading, right? You trade for a living, you want to trade, whatever. It doesn't mean that you're going to have to start trading a new strategy, right? But you're going to probably have to change the way you're trading the strategy. You're going to have to change your beliefs behind it. You're going to have to change your feelings behind it. You're going to have to change your actions behind it. And then you will get different results, right? So you don't necessarily have to change your profession. You don't necessarily have to work more, but you have to change the way that you do things. And so that's what a lot of people get wrong, is they're like, okay, I want to make more money, and they think they just have to go to this entirely new thing. Like, oh, okay, this isn't working, I want to make more money, I got to start a new business. Oh, I'm not making as much as I want to make, I want to start a new business, right? Everyone has this perception that it's just, you have to change your business, but the truth is you can make millions doing literally anything. So it's not necessarily that, but it's the way you do it. But also, that's a little off topic. So if you're having to change the way you do things, right? Change is not comfortable, right? Change is what makes you nervous. You have to go give a presentation to a bunch of people or something, right? You get nervous because it's uncomfortable. So, and what does that mean? It means that you're growing from that, right? You're doing something that you wouldn't normally do. It's making you uncomfortable. And then after you're done, you're like, oh yeah, like, that was great. Person's all in my lane. You're like, oh yeah, you know, like, that wasn't even that bad. So that's what the terror barrier is, right? And so the truth is the thing that you need to do to get to where you want to go is probably the thing that you've been putting off. Whatever it is that you've been saying, oh, I'll do it then, I'll do it then, I'll do it then, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'm not ready yet, I'm not ready yet. That is probably your dream life is probably on the other side of that thing. So if you don't know what step to take, if you don't know what action you should take, literally ask yourself, what have I been saying I'll do tomorrow? What have I been saying? What makes me uncomfortable every time I want to do it? What have I been procrastinating? Because your success lives on the other side of that procrastination. That's the truth of it. But you don't want to do it because it's uncomfortable, it makes you nervous, you're scared, right? And so you have to realize that your dream life or your desires are on the other side of that fear. And so if you never face the fear, you'll never get it. You'll never get your desire. Never. So, you know, ask yourself, what have I been putting off? What is that one thing that you know you should be doing, but you won't do it? That one thing that you know should be a part of your routine, but you're not doing it? What is that one thing that you know you should have done, but you're not doing it? What is that one person you should have texted or called and you're not doing it, right? There's always, like, I know you're thinking of something right now that you know you should have been doing, you know you should have already done, and you haven't done it, and you keep procrastinating it, you keep putting it off, and you know it's just like lingering in the back of your mind, like, okay, yeah, like, I know I should have done this. Oh yeah, like, you almost feel guilty because you know you should have done it for so long and you haven't done it. Well, let me tell you, your success is on the other side of that action. It's on the other side of that action. If you ask yourself, does this align with my goals? Does taking this action align with my goals? And the answer is yes, and you are scared to death to do it, then that is exactly what you should do. Now, I'm not saying you just do stupid stuff that makes you scared, because, you know, if it doesn't align with your goal, then yeah, like, it doesn't really matter. But if you ask yourself, will this bring me closer to my goal? And the answer is yes, then you should do it, no matter how scared you get, right? Because that fear is your body trying to keep you the same. It's your conditioning trying to keep you in the same spot. So you have to break through that. That's the terror barrier, right? It's when you get to this point where you have these new ideas you're planting into your mind, but you're still, you haven't changed emotionally and spiritually, right? Your spirit's still the same, but you have these new thoughts, and so they don't match, right? So you have like an X thought, which say this is a thought of, I'm making 50K a month, but then you have your Y programming, right? So say you're making 10K a month, right? So you're putting in these mixed match thoughts and feelings, and so it's putting your body in this uncomfortable feeling, this uncomfortable vibration, which is what that feeling of nervousness or anxiety is. So the thing is the only way you're going to get to where everything matches is if you take that action, if you do that thing, if you hold that vision, right? You have to become who you want to be, right? So a lot of people are like, oh, well, how am I going to make 100K a month? How am I going to do this? It's not the how, it's who. It's who. Who do I have to become? Because when you become someone who makes 100K a month, you will make 100K a month. If you ask yourself how, you are trying to answer it from the version of yourself that doesn't make 100K a month, you're never going to get the answer. Never. So step back and ask yourself, what do I want? Who do I need to become, right? So if you want to make 100K a month, what would that person do? How would they act? Who do you have to become to make 100K a month? How much value are you going to have to provide to make 100K a month, right? Ask yourself, who do I need to become? And if it makes you nervous to do that thing, that is what you should do. So this is just my reminder that terror barrier is what's holding you back. And the other side of that barrier is your dream life. It's the life you want. It's the goals you want. It's the money you want, the cars you want. It's all on the other side of that thing that you are afraid to do. Because once you do that thing, you're going to have another thing that you're afraid to do. And you do that thing, you're going to have another thing you're afraid to do. You are going to always be overcoming fears. If you are not overcoming fears, you are not growing, you are not changing, you are not becoming. You are staying the same. You should always be scared to death. Always. Not literally always. Like, I'm not saying to just live a life of fear. But if you are not consistently like wondering, how is this even going to work out? How am I even going to do this? Like, what if this happens? What if that is what you need to do. If you are afraid to post that video because you don't know what people are going to say, that is what you need to do. You need to post that video. If you are afraid to start trading because you don't want to lose money, that is what you need to do. You need to start trading. Your desire is your inner possibility within you, right? Desire is the spirit within you, God within you, your inner perfection within you, seeking expression. So your very desire proves that you can do whatever it is that you are wanting. But you have to allow it to express itself, and that is going to be fearful. That is going to be scary. That is going to be hard. It is going to be difficult. It is not an easy life to live. There's going to be days where you wake up and you say, I don't even know how this is going to work, but I'm going to put my shoes on and I'm going to act like it's all going to be perfect, right? Because there's going to be days where you don't know how it's going to connect. You don't know how it's going to work out, and that's why no one does this. That's why no one can achieve these things, because people they can't see how it's all going to work out, so they give up. They jump back into safety, right? That's what Bob Proctor says. And I think he quoted someone else, but you either jump forward into growth, or you fall back into safety. And the truth is, if you fall back into safety, you'll live the same life over and over and over and over again. So you have to, create that image of what you want, and understand that you're going to have to overcome a lot of fears to get there. You're going to have to do a lot of uncomfortable things. You're going to have to do a lot of things that you don't want to do. Because that is how you know you're growing, that is how you know you're changing, and that is how you know your results will change. So think of that one thing that you know you should have done. You probably have been thinking about it for months. Whatever that thing is, understand that is what's holding you back. That is why you're not getting the results you want. That is why you are not changing. That is the one thing. So do that thing, and I guarantee you'll have another idea to do another thing, and that thing's going to scare you. And you just got to keep doing these things. And the more you keep them flowing, and the faster you keep overcoming your fear, the more rapidly your growth will come. The faster your results will change. The quicker your life will change. So I hope this helps. And just know that terror barrier is a sign of success. Having those fears is a sign of change and growth. Now, I'm not saying to do something stupid. I'm not saying to go cliff jumping just because it scares you. But what I'm saying is, the fear is what holds you back. And the second you overcome those fears and those tasks that align with your goals but you're scared to do, is the second your life changes, the second your results change, the second you step into who you can possibly be. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will catch you guys in the next one.